Well, Bahamians will head to the polls in just under 2 weeks to elect a government for the next 5 years. Tonight, the president of the Grand Bahama Christian Council says that whomever wins, he simply wants to see progress for this northern island. President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Rev Dr Robert Lockhart, looking forward to the revitalization of the local economy. Rev Lockhart says that as the country gears up to elect a government to lead the country, he is hoping that the island of Grand Bahama is a top priority.
We've always been in an economic lull, but we've been there too long. And I say to whichever government the Bahamian people choose, please pay attention to Grand Bahama. Let's get things moving again. Get in talks with the Port Authority. Let's make it happen because we've been struggling long enough.
While there have been many projects promised and started, Reverend Lockhart says that now, more than ever, there needs to be a push for major investments to come to fruition.
Projects have been in the pipeline pretty long, okay? And we know, of course, pandemic came, the hurricane came, but I believe that one of the challenges that any government have is now for these things to materialize. We've lost too much people from Grand Bahama. The population has decreased, which impacts our economy, and we need Grand Bahamians to come back. We need to grow the numbers in Grand Bahama. We need to grow our economy, and so we need some things to happen quickly. I don't think we could go through another 5 years with things promising to come on stream. So I say any government that comes in place, Grand Bahama is an emergency matter, not just from the health perspective, but economically, and we need to see things happen. Our young people, too many of them are not even considering coming back home.
He adds that he believes that there needs to be a serious and a strong partnership between the governments of the Bahamas and the Grand Bahama Port Authority.
No longer government blaming the port blaming the government. Those two parties need to sit down and put a plan together of how to move Grand Bahama forward, and it needs to be done together, and an immediate plan, a plan that says, hey, this is where we're going to be in 2 years, in 3 years, concrete things that are going to happen, and who's going to be responsible for what. I think the second thing that needs to happen is the government and the Port Authority need to attract investors. We need at least 2 major investments in Grand Bahama, just like we see took place in Nassau, that will provide jobs. If 1 or 2 investments can take place in Grand Bahama, that would provide up to 2,000 to 3,000 jobs in the short term, which is like 1 to 2 years. It'll change the economic state of Grand Bahama.
Some progress being made on Sweetings Key. A group of Sweetings Key residents receiving keys to brand new homes over the weekend. The 8 homes handed over on Saturday make up the 17 homes in total that were built for those residents who lost everything during Hurricane Dorian. The Sweetings Key Home Project is an initiative of the Rotary Clubs of Grand Bahama, the TK Foundation, and Lyford Key Charitable Trust. Our Jamila Mizik was on the Sweetings Key and filed this report.
It was a joyous occasion as 8 newly built homes were officially handed over to residents on Sweetings Key thanks to the Sweetings Key Home Project, an initiative spearheaded by Rotary, the TK Foundation, and Lyford Key Charitable Trust. The new homes make up a total of some 17 homes that were either restored or rebuilt for those residents who lost everything and were forced to either relocate or sleep in tents due to Hurricane Dorian's destruction. Rotary's area governor, Billie Jane Ferguson, making the presentation to the homeowners.
We have come a long way in rebuilding Sweetings Key and rebuilding the community of Grand Bahama. They've suffered a lot on this key, and I'm so happy on behalf of the TK Foundation and the Lyford Key Club Charitable Trust to be able to make this possible. Of course, this afternoon would not have been possible without a super team in the persons of Team Seagrape. Let's hear it for Team Seagrape.
Also on hand for the signing over ceremony was Administrator for the area, Christian Palacios.
It means a lot to me as an administrator, coming to the Key every other week and seeing the progress, seeing the persons that are benefiting from these homes and how appreciative they are. It means a lot to me.
And thanks to insurance management, the homes have been insured for up to 1 year under the program. Assistant Manager of Customer Relations, Melissa Sayers, explains.
We have been asked to help to provide the insurance for persons up to a year, and we think it is an honorable and remarkable thing for Rotary Club to do this for these persons. We've also been asked to come along and to explain the policy or contract that they would have, which also covers them for hurricane, fire, and they have comprehensive cover, as a matter of fact.
Now, as they were presented the keys to their homes, ribbons were cut, and each home was presented with a label commemorating the occasion.
I have to thank God, and I'd like to especially thank the Rotary Club and who else was involved with helping me get this house.
It's been a lot. I thank God for them and the blessing they have sent to Sweetings Key for us.
These people, they work so hard, they try so hard. They do this here for me. I didn't have this. Who else can do it for me? I'm so glad it's home. Every day they come on, I lay down, I just call her up, I just cry. And I'm happy, and I'm grateful. And I'm so proud of it. And I thank Rotary them.
And to show their appreciation, the residents on Sweetings Key taking the opportunity to present plaques to all of the organizations involved in bringing a sense of normalcy back to the Key. Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears now, 15 COVID-19 related deaths reported in the latest health dashboard. 4 of those COVID-19 related deaths from Grand Bahama. A 66-year-old male on August 22nd and a 68-year-old male on August 27th. Now, the Ministry of Health reporting 2 COVID-19 related deaths that were previously under investigation but have now been reclassified. An 81-year-old male and a 67-year-old female on August 17th. The 11 remaining COVID-19 related deaths are from New Providence and Andros. The Ministry of Health reporting 87 new cases of COVID-19, 72 of those newly reported cases in New Providence, 10 cases on Grand Bahama, 2 cases in Abaco, 1 case in Eleuthera, 1 in the Berry Islands, and 1 in Exuma. Of those newly confirmed cases, 41 are males and 46 are females. There are 175 hospitalizations, 21 cases are in Grand Bahama, with 1 person in the intensive care unit. 49 recoveries were reported. A man is dead following a traffic accident over the weekend. Reports say shortly after 5 p.m. on Saturday, police received a report of a traffic accident on Queens Highway, Deadman's Reef, West Grand Bahama. Initial investigations reveal that a red 2010 Honda Fit was being driven west in the area of Deadman's Reef by an adult male when the driver lost control, ran off the southern side of the street into bushes, and overturned. The front seat passenger was ejected from the vehicle upon impact. Both the driver and the passenger were also attacked by a swarm of bees. The passenger was examined by a doctor on scene and was pronounced dead. The driver is listed in serious but stable condition. Investigations are continuing. And in other news, Thursday, September 2nd marked the 2nd anniversary of the passage of Hurricane Dorian on Grand Bahama, a monster storm that left death and destruction on the island. This past Sunday, a memorial service was held in the High Rock community to remember the lives that were lost. Our Italia Hall was there.
It was a sad occasion as residents gathered to remember the lives that were lost during Hurricane Dorian, the catastrophic storm that claimed the lives of many in the East End community. The memorial service featured various praise and worship teams, as well as special selections. Minister of Disaster Preparedness, Management, and Reconstruction, the Honorable Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, telling residents that while Bahamians are saddened by what took place, they must know that going forward, God will provide.
It is important for each and every one of us here to know this afternoon that in the midst of our sorrows, we must keep hope alive. For each and every one of you who would have lost loved ones in this community, by extension, the Bahamas has suffered and felt your pain, but they can't imagine what it is to be in your shoes. I am here today to recommit the government's assistance to you. Day by day, we will not stop until we are satisfied that each and every one of you have been helped.
Member of Parliament for the East Grand Bahama constituency, Peter Turnquist, also taking part in the memorial service. He says he knows that this is a difficult time for many, and he knows that more reconstruction is needed in the community.
But we are grateful for the steps that we've been making towards the rebuilding and reestablishing of these communities. It is a testament to partnership. It's a testament to your strength and your resilience. And I want to congratulate you for not giving up on your communities.
Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, says his prayers are with the families that lost loved ones.
Give God thanks. We must give him thanks for the stories of survival. Give him thanks for all that he has done in keeping us and all that he has done in bringing us to where we are today.
President of the Grand Bahama Christian Council, Rev Dr Robert Lockhart, says he had the opportunity to interact with families who experienced loss during Hurricane Dorian.
And what God is reminding us is that in the midst of all of this, he has already overcome this for us. And as we look to him, he will show us the path and the avenue to continue to move forward, to rebuild, to restore, and to continue to achieve the dreams and aspirations of those that were dear to us.
Apostle Carolyn Cooper telling residents that God did not forget them.
The process might be slow. It seems like you're working, and it seems like you're working, and you're making no progress, Pastor Baloo. But I hear the Lord said, I still have you on my mind.
A wreath was laid and prayers were lifted for the nation. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us, there are still more news right after this break.